guys, how are you? Good morning. I'm going to be starting the free yes and no crystal ball. I'm just going to let the stream load a little bit. Hey guys, how are you? I'm just letting the stream load a little bit so that I could start the stream. I'm going to be starting with free yes and no crystal ball and opening the list as well. Let's see, Vino's asking over on YT. Hi ma'am, is this signs reading? What do you mean by signs? You mean like the astrology signs, like a collective? No, I'm doing free yes and no crystal ball. Yeah, but I am an astrologer, so if you wanted something on your sign, I could do your chart. But anyway, thank you for checking out my live. I do my readings, my paid readings on here. Yeah, no, I figured. Yeah, it's not a collective, it's individual. Yeah, but I'm over on TikTok, and I'm gonna be doing a free yes and no crystal ball, but I fulfill my readings because of the censorship over on YT. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm starting free yes and no crystal ball. Thank you for your question, Vino. I'm gonna be starting that, and my my tarot is 25. All right. Let's see. So Janet, will AJ and you move to New York? Let's see what I get for that, because moving is really up to you. If you have the money and you've made your plans, that's choices. Okay, so let's see. Let's see the energy between Janet and AJ moving. So I do see a person, it seems male, so that could be, I believe you said AJ. I do see him, it looks like work, because there's a computer. I mean, unless he's a student or whatever it is, but anyway, no, I would say no. The reason is there's a delay, and I believe it comes from his side. So probably his job or something. There's a delay, is what I'm saying to you. So no, or no because of a delay. So I'm not sure the reason, but yes, it is. This looks like work related. Okay, let's see. I mean, I understand people can work remotely. I understand that. It's just, I'm getting a no delay. That's the answer. Okay, let's see. Tanisha, will Troy unblock you soon? All right, let's see. So I do see another female in the picture. So this could either be that that's what he wants you to think. This could be that he's planning on trying to make you jealous. This can be, you know, that there literally is someone in the picture, you know. So the answer would be no. No, because this is a purposeful, I mean, I realize people block you on purpose. I get that. But sometimes there's just because they do it at the spur of the moment because they're upset. And sometimes it's because they have a game plan. There's a game plan here. All right, so, all right, let's see. Understand the free yes and no that I'm giving you. People sometimes understand that the message that I'm giving is the indefinite answer of the connection, and that's very wrong. Let's say that a person, you know, is going to have another evolution, another page, another chapter with this person. It is not a love reading. So I'm not looking for the future really and the details. I'm just giving you clarity for the matter at hand that's relevant to this current time, right? So, okay, it's not a substitute for a reading, but I think it's helpful because it gives you an idea. Okay, Summer, please spam away if I don't see your question. That doesn't bother me. Because if I'm reading here, I won't see your question. And I know it's annoying to time it and hit send. It's got to be so annoying. So spam away. I won't get upset. I was trying to include everybody. Summer, does Parnell think about reconnecting? Okay, Parnell. So there's something kind of interesting here. I see two people sitting down. It looks like a place of eating, but it's weird because behind them to an angle is a table with a tablecloth. It looks elongated, kind of like, you know, it's not oblong, but elongated, so rectangular. It could be a banquet because restaurants don't really have tables like that. Unless it's like a banquet, you know, like one of those like, you know, like you get up and serve your stuff. Whatever, buffet, that's the word I'm looking for. It could be like that. But anyway, here's the point. This seems to me like a memory. It does not seem like a future event that's going to happen. But here's the future part. This man wants to, yes, he's going to reach out. Yes, he's going to want to reconnect. But what I find very peculiar is that he's hoping that it's like when, how do I say it? I'm sorry, I should spit it out, but it's, words are hard this morning. Okay. It seems to me that he doesn't want you to see what he's really thinking. So this means that there's a secretive nature. This means that there's a little bit of a deceptive nature. And it's not just his personality, because some people are just like that and it's just their nature. This person has in particular, it's almost like he wants to maybe have a friend with benefit with you or something like that, but he doesn't want you to know that that's what he wants because there's something holding back. There's something not authentic about his approach. So he's trying to talk to you. Must have a really strong personality, like a Virgo or something like that, like a Capricorn Virgo or something like that, because you're sweet but you're tough, and he doesn't want to piss you off or raise any flags because you analyze things, and he wants his way. So that's what I have for you. All right, that's my feel on his energy. So yes, he will connect because he will want to reconnect. Let's see. Trinity, does Lewis still want you romantically? Okay, Trinity. We're actually about Lewis. Lewis is my focus. Okay, hang on. Yes. But I see that his energy is more like using you, because when I say, oh, he's using you, people think, oh, it's money or something, or physical. No, this is also tenderness. Like, can you be his nurse? Can you be his therapist? Can he tell you his problems? Can he give you a sob story? Can you give him the attention and affection and pour over him? That's okay if he walks the talk and he gives the female the title and the commitment and it's girlfriend, fiance, wife. That's okay if it's like that because it's one of those bonded relationships. But if he's just going to come in and out and do that, sweetie, you were born for more. Okay, let's see. But to each their own. All right, Thea, did your ex see you yesterday at the concert? I'm not going to do questions like that on the free yes and no. I would have to open up the event, and that would be in a reading. Okay, Gianna, will you hear from Samantha and Austin soon? So we're asking about two people. I'm focusing on Austin. You cannot merge two people in one question. Everybody has their own brain, their own heart, their own soul, their own energy. So you don't merge it. We're asking about Austin. And so I see his focus is with someone else. I see an interrupted focus. So apparently the question you're asking is complicated. It's not. It doesn't fit what I'm doing on the stream. Some things fit, some things don't. Okay, let's see. Tessa, was Truitt pretending to be his girlfriend texting you today? Okay. Yes, but there's someone else in on it. So it's not just him. The deceptive behavior is coming in from two people. So he has a co-pilot. Okay, Josipa, does Pete, I don't, or sorry. Yes. Yes, I do see the romantic relationship back together. I don't know how long, and I don't know the whole details of that relationship. It's not a love read. It sounds, there's something feeling temporary about it. There's also something interrupted. It's like, well, I see that there's something interrupted that has to do with moving or a travel or something where the couple has wanted to do this together and they have this, future plan, and the future plan does not pan out. So it's going somewhere, or it's something where the couple has to meet heads and finances and focus to accomplish. And I see that it doesn't. So yes, there's a temporary reconnection. I'm not sure on the details long term. All right, Jess, will Catherine reconnect with you romantically? Jess asking about Catherine. I do see reconnection. I wouldn't say romantically. I would say on a social level, and I see someone close to this person in the picture. So they bring energy with them. They're bringing a person with them. There's somebody that's intrusive, someone that's like hanging around. So the energy is not this pure one-on-one. The intention is the same. It's better than the past. I don't see that. I see like there's something disruptive, disconnected, but yet that you do communicate socially. So relationship with Lonwabo work out. Probably not, because I see that he is wanting to go in one direction very fast. He's very sure, his ideas, his method, his way, and I see that you're wanting something else. So this is a timing mentality, Peter Pan syndrome. Okay, and that was for Lone Wabo, the energy on that person. Let's see. And it will. Oh, I already asked that. Yeah. Renee, will Corey leave the other woman? Okay. I see a false arrangement and a temporary arrangement. I see that there's going to be a falseness, that the person really does everything they can to distance, and then it falls through. So that means that they end up going back. So I see a disruption. So person B, person C break away, and then person B goes back to person C. Okay, and that's what I see. All right, Olivia, does Noah have romantic feelings for you? Temporarily for affection, yes. Relationship, commitment, you're the one, all those things, no. And that probably has to do with the fact that the way that you're treating the situation is, you kind of feel like maybe you're throwing yourself at his feet. The in a figurative sense. So the way that he's implying it, it just feeds his ego. So that's not really a way to have this type of individual coax you, traditionally. So watch how much you stroke his ego. It's a quiet ego, so he's not loudly stuck up, but it's his expectation of, well, obviously you're making it easy for me. Obviously, you want me and you're making it easy for me. Watch that, because he can put you through the ringer. And anyway, I digress. All right, and will your relationship, I already asked you, I already answered that. I'm not gonna answer it again. So okay, let's see. Amy Barge, are you that skilled that you have to come over in other people's streams and announce yourself? Are you that pathetic and no talent that you are soliciting in my place of business, which is illegal, by the way? How sad, how pathetic. That's like someone going into a dentist's office, and then another dentist pops in and says, no, don't get that filled. Do it at my office, please. I need customers. That's so sad. Okay. All right. Pathetic on them. All right. Nisha, does Anthony want to reach out to you? So Nisha and Anthony. I don't see that he wants to reach out to you like that's a big thing on his mind, but I do see that somehow the social interaction picks up and you do hang out. You do go on a date. You do sit together and talk, whatever. Date being a very, flexible word. Okay, so yeah, interaction. All right, just symbolic. Oh, are they? Yeah, scammers. Yeah, no, no. They actually are people that are desperate for customers, because yeah, I get that all the time. That's very pathetic. They would do that. Very, All right, but thank you for, yeah, and of course, being that desperate, they are fake. So yeah, okay. Yeah, If it froze, then it was meant for you not to hear it. I'm just kidding. No, if it froze, it's recorded. So I don't repeat myself, not because of anything of my choice, but because it's a spiritual moment that I give the message. So, all right, let's see. Now, if I'm doing a reading and it's opened up, or maybe it's just someone just disconnected, then of course I will definitely repeat it because it's fresh on my mind. When I go into the next energy, I'm not gonna go back. All right, Sam, does Richie miss you as much as you miss him? Okay, so equality in the investment of the emotion. Okay, Richie. No. No. I mean, there's definite invested feelings, but not to your level. Let's see, Tasha, will you and Henry reconnect? Yes, but I also see him arguing with you. Maybe that's later on. It'll make sense when that plays out. Today it sounds weird, but in other words, yes, but then there's also something about his demeanor that's more on edge, and that will make sense at that point. All right. All right, let's see. Riley, is this job a good idea to say yes to? Okay, let's see. So you may have many job many job offers. So you have to tell me what this job is. All right. I don't do riddles or hidden things in this type of free. I don't do that. Like if you said, I want a job reading, and then you book a reading, the 48 reading, you don't have to tell me anything. I'll tell you. That's what I do. But for free, I don't jump through hoops. Like, is that person going to do that thing in that place that one time? I don't do that. I just straight up, just what's the question? Okay, Evie, is Mark still in love with you? Yes. 1 second. So this talks about a desire that he has to, I'm seeing a man with a baby, but don't take that in this particular case like in a literal sense. This is just letting me know that in this particular case, because some things are literal and some things are figurative, inferred. In this particular case, it's inferred. It's just saying that he has wanted long term. He has invested feelings. He does want more. But I also see that he has like hurts and things. It seems like there's a heavy weight to what he feels. There's something that's, like heavy weight. I don't want to use the word baggage because people think of like other things when I say baggage, but like in a sense, like a baggage, a heaviness with the connection with you. And it's supposed to feel light and happy and fluffy. It's not supposed to feel heavy like that. So yeah, there's a lot of emotional weight. But the intention was long-term, has been long-term. It seems like the lifeline of the connection itself is bruised. So, you have to tend to that. Whatever brought you to that moment. I don't know. It's not a love reading, so I don't know the whole story, but it's a delicate connection that needs rewiring, that needs but does have, it's not broken, it's alive, it's connected. So, okay, let's see. Riley, is your boyfriend's mom's brewery, will it be a it will be a service. Are you asking if, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. Wait, was this connected to the job question before? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, you could have just said brewery. That's all I was asking, but I appreciate all your details. No, I will definitely answer that for you. Oh, no, I just meant like when you, yeah. Oh, I see you wrote several times. I'm sorry, I missed it. Oh, I see. Let me go back to your original question. Yeah, I would have been happy with just brewery. I would have, because, okay, I will definitely look. Gladly. Thank you. Let's see. Let me check on something. Okay, so the answer is yes. It's something that's going to, occur, how do you say, not gradually, like the ball's rolling, right? So it's like step one leads to step two, leads to step three. So yes, it flows. Yes, it says this is going to occur. But I have some information for you, just FYI. Your boyfriend, when you start in that position, he's not going to say anything for a while, but he's not going to like the way things feel with you doing that. So at first, today he might be like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I don't know how he feels about it. I'm just saying, what I'm showing is that to be aware of, once you start and you get your rhythm going and everything, you might notice him a little bit distant, not right away, but then take note, because that's going to be the elephant in the living room. I don't know why. It could be one situation, it could be schedule, it can be a person, it could be, I don't know. I would have to, but just to be aware, that's all I'm saying to you. Yeah, so that was extra. That has nothing to do with the job question, but it's something that's going to be significant, at that point. And when you see that, there's something bothering him and it just gets to be this issue, that you mention it. Have you felt different? Have you, is this where it started? Or, and be vocal about it, because, yeah. All right, let's see, Tyrone and Samantha, will she reach out? Okay, you're Tyrone, right? And you're asking about Samantha. Okay, I see. Will she reach out to me this month and will we rekindle? Okay, so Samantha. I see that, the connection is not, okay, so, I don't see her reaching out to you. Let's start right there. But she will reply if, the way that you approach it is, in a style that it's her language. So fits her style. So, You can do things naturally how you are, or you can kind of tailor make it for the person. Let's say a person hates to be called at a certain time, well, but they prefer texts at 6 o'clock. So you would text at 6 o'clock, or let's say that the opening sentence is, in other words, be very, very analytical about how you do it and when. So timing is operative there. Opportune would be the operative word. But I do see that, I don't think the spark is going to continue from where it was in the past. It might have potential in the future, but not the near future. Why is that? Because she's not going to necessarily close the door and leave it closed if you have a pleasant conversation. She likes sweetness and kindness. But her focus is shifting. And there is another fellow. And he wears a hat. So a cap. Like a baseball cap, whatever. I don't know hat types, but whatever. It's a baseball cap. So if that's not her style and she likes preps, I don't know, because this guy's very, that's just what he's wearing. So yeah, there is she seems kind of preppy to me, but this is her. All I'm trying to tell you is that her focus is shifting. So there's going to be somebody who's caught her eye, somebody that she's smitten about, somebody that she wants to get to know on a romantic level, but it's slow to start. So you have time. I think it's one of those things where it's not a sure yes. Why is that? Because I'm seeing that the problem has to do with the way that she sees your behavior. I'm not saying it's, you, but we're looking at her perspective, right? Which is what the reality is at this time. So in her perspective, it's all about your presentation, the way you execute your words and your attitude and your, if it adjusts to what pleases her. So yes, I do see that you can socialize and stuff, but it may be a while. If she goes in the direction of that guy, which she's going to be more determined. I don't like him though, so I don't think it's long term. I think that you're going to have to sit back and wait. After that, I don't know. I'm not looking, you'll have to see the story. I'm just looking at this phase in time right now, but yeah, keep trying, be nice. Make sure she's smiling and laughing, whatever it is, be very charming, and just be very, slow paced and at ease, and it's a waiting game. So yeah, you have a chance, but not right away, and it's going to take patience and hard work. It's not going to just pick up just like that. Hope that helps. Let's see. Sonia, will your romance with Yuzi be rekindled? So I'm seeing one person. Well, okay, I'm seeing two people at what looks like a mass, like when you attend like a mass at a church or something. So there's something religious, something sacred, something. It could be a baptism. It can be a gathering. It can be an event. It can be a potluck at a church group or something. I don't know. And I'm seeing there's like an awkward distance. So I do see some interaction, but there's something distrusting. So I don't see it smooth, Almost like he's trying to do what you are, yeah, fit to you. All right, let's see. Trinity, does Lewis care that you... Oh, I answered a question for you already. I do one per person. Okay, let's see. Bintu, is your husband, is Ishmaelia faithful? No, I would say no. There is adultery behavior. Even if it was just the one time, yeah, well, this is a time to either, be aware of his details or hire a PI if you need concrete evidence, because you will find evidence if you look, Sorry about that. Yolanda, does Richard want to get back together? I mean, yeah, yes, I do see you and him, enjoying each other's company, but what I don't like is that I see that you make it easy for him. Maybe not today, but be aware of how easy you make it. If he doesn't pursue you, and I just don't see that the level of effort is there from him. It's more like, okay, yeah, let's just go with it. So it can just be, just something shallow for to suit his needs, and then it's not what you're looking for. So be aware of that, I just hate to see women go in loops for somebody that's not, it just upsets me, but anyway. All right. Yeah, I do see you together, yeah, but I just question the root of the intention, and the long term of it. Like, he's not where you're at. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Me, Sebastian, Sagittarius. Okay. That's a very Sagittarius. Me, Sagittarius. I like that. Would like to know what is going to happen between me and Morgan. Okay. I do yes and no. That sounds like a love reading, which I can tell you, I can totally answer that question. If you want to put that into a yes and no, I'm happy to answer you, because that's what I'm doing right now. If you want to book a tarot, then that question is fine, which is, my tarot is 25, because it's a story. It's looking into the past, present, and future, focusing on future. This is just answering a question, looking at the energy that's relevant to the question. So I can look and see the energy and see what I see, and it might give you a weird answer, but it will be clear. All right, I'll do it that way if you want. So I'm just going to look for Morgan. Okay, Sebastian and Morgan, focusing on Morgan's energy. I like it. There's a lot for you to do to, make her trust and feel content and happy. So Virgo women need to be shown certain behaviors. So if she were a Leo, you could basically share the same brain. But with Virgo and Sag, you're going to miss a lot of cues because your energy is very fast paced, you're very direct, you're very literal, and Virgo will analyze things. So, in other words, I'm trying to tell you, she seems gentle, sweet, but there's also a lot. She's not going to sit there and tell you information. So it's funny because Virgo's so open, they're so vocal, but they also don't explain everything. And they don't, especially the female, she's not going to sit there explaining everything. She's very open with an answer, sometimes too open, but she doesn't sit there describing and communicating properly, which sometimes hurts Virgo a lot. They say the things that, so she's not going to sit there saying, I need this, I want this from you, this is how I'm feeling, I need to communicate this to you, I need to trust you, because she's never not going to hear that. She's going to expect you to do it. And what you need to do is just be consistent, show her the things that chivalrous attention, so that if she could see it, and you have to make it very obvious for a Virgo female. So if her friends and her family can say, he really cares about you, he's so nice, oh my God, he's really into you, like, what a good man, then she'll be like, he is. But if you're trying on this like passionate soul level for her to feel what you're feeling, that would be a Leo. That's not going to happen with the Virgo. You got to break it down. So there could be a communication issue, and then she can be pissed off at you very easily. She becomes kind of like the school principal, the dictator, the mom. You're because they're very structured, and this can make Sagittarius feel like an immature kid. So you have to watch it with that. So yes, I do see reconciliation, but the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. You're the one that can make it happen. Understood? It's on you. Yes, it is possible. So make it happen. Speak her language. All right? Okay, Maria, is Jose only wanting spicy time with me or something more? Okay, you're both Aquarius. So it would be spicy time. Okay? When an Aquarius man is into a woman, oh, thank you so much, Cowboy. When an Aquarius man is into a woman, everybody will know. Everybody. Because they don't give a crap. They will be like direct. Hey, baby, you're mine. Like they're very, they have that oomph, like, and they'll pursue. Hey, you want to go out? Hey, come on, you want my number? Like they're very, So they're very, it's very direct. They're gonna have a different energy than Sag and Scorpio, but those three signs right there in a guy, Scorpio, Sag, and Aquarius, oh, there's no doubt when they're into a woman. So if he's just, being his sleuth self, he wants spicy. And besides, I'm seeing it anyway. I'm just telling you, you would know, because he would say, hey, you wanna do this together? If they start making plans, come on. Like they're very sure, very sure. You wanna be my girlfriend? You want to marry me? Here's a ring. They're very, very sure of what they want. They go after what they want. They don't care about anything else. They're very rebellious in that way. So you're a female Aquarius. You're a totally different creature. Totally different. Female Aquariuses are a totally different species than a male Aquarius. So just because you think you have the same sign doesn't mean you are the same. Absolutely not. So the way, so half of the way his brain works can match your level of logic. The other half, you'll be lost, especially in what decan you fall under. expecting a certain way. See, because you're an Aquarius female, you might not have the same expectation and flags as other women. So if all your friends want to get married, you'll say, "No, I don't like marriage. I'm good." If everybody hates marriage, you'll be like, "Oh my God, I want a ring." So like you don't try to fit the mold. You go after what you like, and you don't question it. That's the intention of the Aquarius female. But you do it with passion. A male Aquarius can be very tricky. Yeah, it's a little different. He's not, I'm not trying to sell you a reading, because I'm here every day and people don't hear me say, "Hey, you want to buy a reading?" I don't do that shit. You get one if you want to. If not, whatever. But I'm trying to tell you that it would be a good idea for me to do a deep dive on what he's thinking and what's going on. But if you don't want to do that, then understand the answer that I'm giving you. I don't see that he is hungry to pursue or nourish the connection with you like it was. Why? I don't know. I would have to find out. So, it is off. He is off. Absolutely. Yeah. And what made him change? Because that doesn't just happen like that. Something changed. So it sounds like there's a lot to that story. Not only, what you and him shared, but also what went up in here, like what switched. Because I do see him detached, and I see him withholding information. And Aquarius female is reserved and private, whereas Aquarius male is secretive and deceptive. Okay, so let's see. Aubrey, are Charlie's intentions in our relationship genuine? So I'm asking about Charlie. Okay, one second. Yes. He's got a problem in his life that's making him very down. Understand when you're trying to nourish a love connection and the person that's in that is being split attention between his problems and his love life, you're not going to get 100% of him. It doesn't mean he doesn't want to. It means that there's a problem he's suffering. This can be, self-esteem. It could be money. It could be a relative, whatever. I don't know unless I do a full reading. But, don't take it personal. I would say be very patient with this guy. There's something very delicate. He seems, I like it. I like his energy. I think he's very genuine. Hey, Cowboy. I only do one per person, but go ahead. You can ask me one more this time, because it's okay. It sounds like you really, really want an answer. So go ahead. You can ask it. But I usually do one per person. Okay. Brianna, is Isaac serious with Mix? Mix is the person they're dating. Mix is okay, you know what? Let me do it this way. With Isaac and Mix, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do a dice reading for free on here. There's a different type of divination, okay? I'm gonna do an energy check on Isaac. Isaac is, how do they prefer their identities mentioned? Is that a he? I don't want to assume or offend anyone. I'm old school traditional, so. Okay, so Isaac and Mix, are you Mix? I just need to know, like, the, for me to do an energy check on people, I need to know who is who. So is it a he with a she, or they with they, or they with them, or he with her, or whatever? Like, who is mix you, or, you know, just help me out here so I can find out. Or don't. Let me just do it. Here we go. Isaac and Mix. Okay, so the answer that you're getting is, I would say, one second here. Okay, let me explain what I see, okay? This is a very strange reading because you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your question. You can be asking about Mickey, Donald Duck, and Pluto, you know? It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you an answer. It's going to be accurate. I hope you understand it, okay? I see 4 people here, okay? I see that one person was showing a lot of romance, passion, and in love. They desire, almost like they feel like it's like a soulmate connection to this other person. So person A, person B. Then we got C and D. We're on A and B right now. And there's been a problem in that romance where the attention from this person has shifted. So sometimes that's a person's ex. When the ex has not been out of the picture too long, their energy can still be around that person with each other sometimes. That has to burn off. It's a whole other thing. It's how to understand love energy. So I see that there's a connection here that they're still going to be together because they're meant for each other. So it's just the fact that right now there's a very difficult situation where they're not together, but that doesn't mean their connection line or string, if you will, is cut, because it's not. Let's go to C and D. I see a person that is in a very off and on relationship with somebody. You know, they connect, they disconnect, connect, they disconnect. It's lingering. It's almost like maybe just physical, or like a heaviness that is being dealt with. So this can be one person with one person that they're involved with romantically versus another person. So if these 4 people end up being 2, it can also occur because one, you know, person A can have a history with person B. And if they are seeing someone else or has begun to, that has its own energy as well. It's almost like they divide who they are with, you know, in each relationship, they can have a different skin, if you will, you know, persona. I'm seeing that, you know, this person is involved with somebody, but this person has like issues. Either they have a heavy legal record, or they are in hot water in some way. There's like a problem that they have, and they're not best suited. Those problems do not belong to the person that they're seeing physically, romantically, whatever. And this is something that concerns that person. So I would say that the clarity and connection that, you know, is needed between either romantic path, the person they're meant to be with it's not working out right now, but they're not over by any means. They will definitely connect because I think they're destined for each other. You don't tell on this, you tell in astrology. Whereas the person they're involved with, they should leave because that's not okay. That's toxic, very toxic. So again, it doesn't matter who you're asking about, but this is the energy on love that that I see with you. All right, so hopefully that helps. Okay, all right, so let's see. Tyrone is asking about Samantha. Okay, is she drinking because of you? Okay, so so let me find out. Let's see. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Samantha. When people, so the answer is not really. The situation that caused the distress is not, hang on one second. Okay, you didn't cause it. She obviously made her own choice. If she has a problem, then she has to address it. But there are, if she has an issue and a person, okay, I'm fumbling with my words. Let me clarify what I'm trying to say. If she, I do see that she's drinking. Is it, but you're asking if it's your fault. It is your fault that you aggravated the stress level of a person that has a problem, a substance problem, or a addiction issue, or a overindulgence, oral fixation, whatever, however you want to call it, right? A problem, a habit, a vice. Yes, so anytime if you care about a person and you know that they have this issue that they're not taking care of, that they're not addressing, any trigger to this person by a family member, a friend, a lover, whatever, is going to can harm that person, because that person already has that weakness, and that can spun them into a downward cycle. Now, because of her ethnicity, she has to be careful genetically, because she can have more easily, because of drinking, can lead to heart disease. So she's got to take care of her heart. Like, it reminds me of, like, for example, Whitney Houston. Okay, but no, she has a problem. No. I know you're saying she never has, but no. No one just turns to drinking as a seasoned adult for a problem. If a person is indulging and drowning their problems in drink, and they're not a teenager, they're a grown adult, that's a problem. Right there. That's addiction. So she's either going to do it with food or which is toxic. Food or drink, if she's a clean person. Obviously, there's other behaviors, but she doesn't seem to me like that. So, yeah, that is a problem. So you're saying she never... No, she does. Nobody just one day decides they're going to drown their problems in alcohol. If that's how she's turning to the bottle, then maybe she's changing from food, which is still harmful. So what I'm saying to you is, it is your fault that you brought aggravation and stress to her. But it is not your fault that she is choosing to drown her issues in that. That is a problem that she needs to love herself. And it is a disease. So you can't point the finger and say, oh, she's weak, or it's a real problem. No matter what. So if she is, let's say that she's never really done too much of it, not a lot, and there's not a lot maybe with the food relationship, it's still a warning sign. It's still seeing that, yes, she is drinking. Yes. You know, you can drink alcohol to enjoy with a meal because it tastes good, but you can use it to drown yourself in problems and numb the brain. And that's not a way to enjoy alcohol. So all I'm trying to tell you is she is, you know, displaying behaviors that lead me to believe that she's under a great amount of stress. Whether it was you, whether it was her job, whether it was her friendships, whether it was 3, 4 things that have piled on, she's stressed. So, you know, and you did cause, you know, stress to her. But to blame yourself, yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's 2 wrongs. I think there's things that she can do, and there's things that you can do. I think you were in the wrong and she was in the wrong in the way that things went down. Whatever the story is, I don't know the story. Yeah, so that's 30 years of a lot of history. So 30 years. So in 30 years, you've never seen her overeat? Have you ever seen her overeat or over, like, munching because she's nervous, or extra snacking? Maybe you're not being truthful. That's okay. I get a lot of people on here, like, with a facade. That's okay. But yes, that's the answer, okay? All right. All right, cowboy. Of course not. Of course not. Never. Okay. You're going to tell me to read the Bible next? All right, here we go. All right, guys, next question. All right, here we go. This is for, I'm doing free yes and no. Hi, firefighter, how are you? I like the one that was asking for their imaginary identical twin. That one was a good one. Okay, firefighter is asking, are you and Tonya ever getting back together? So I do see a person sitting down eating pizza. Kind of weird, but that is what it is. And I do see a person across from them. And the conversation seems a bit, like, cynical. Whatever this is, it could be a past memory, or I really don't know how it fits. It's just, it is relevant to your question. I would say the takeaway from this is the conversation. So I would say yes and no. Why yes and no? Yes, recommunication will occur. No to the it being, you know, completely everybody on the same page. So I do see that there is, when 2 people are not content, they have not discussed the root of the problem completely, and there's still an elephant in the living room. So 2 people can want to speak and make up, but if you don't address the root of the issue, and the other person kind of says, okay, yes, I do see that, I'm sorry, you know, genuine, and you really make up, I think there's I call it a false start. So I see a false start. Okay, I see a false start. So that means that yes, there's a desire to communicate. I do see you communicating, but I don't see that it's going to be, she's got to open her mind and say, okay, yeah, this is what I feel, and I genuinely see what you're feeling, and I respect that, and you got to do the same. I don't see that happening. I see the same of the butting heads. You know, she wants you to see things, your, her way, and whatever. I don't know the story unless you book a tarot. Then I can go into the past and see the story, and then give you details. But that's the answer. So yes, I do see you communicating again. Watch that you don't push buttons again. In other words, because I do see buttons being pressed again, which can, cause friction again. Yeah, thank you. Onelia, will you meet someone significant in the coming months? Okay. So I do see a person in front of a DJ. Okay. This can be a very past memory. This can be like, remembering a time, or maybe a specific type of music, or maybe a specific type of, something nostalgic. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure, but it can also be, so it is relevant 100% to your question, but I'm not sure if it's a past memory or something relevant to, the current time. I would say no, because this is showing me a person trying to be available, trying to put themselves out there, which is a good thing when you're, wanting to date and stuff. A little old school, traditional type of, style. So yes, online as well, but there's a lot of like yearning for that connection in person, right? So I would say for now, no. Because I think that maybe you're thinking about it too much or trying too hard, which is, also not a good thing. I have found that when people are not looking, that's when real love finds them. And it sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of like, but then again, you can't just like live your life not connecting to that and be a hermit and not available. So I do prefer when someone has, looking for love, I do prefer when, my clients kind of like put themselves out there, they give that good energy. But if they're wanting to be noticed too much, there's signals missed. I would say no for now, but I don't think that's going to last too long. I think after a silent period, I guess, it's going to pick up, but it's going to be a bit. Not too long. I would say maybe like, I would have to check. That's one of the things I check in for astrology. Like when, I'll tell you, so let me clarify the answer for free. The answer that I'm giving you is no. No for now, meaning a month, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. I think after that, the dry spell, you're going to find, you're going to, yes, I do see something after that. But by the time that comes in, you might feel like, when's it happening? So sit and wait, because I do see a delay. As far as if you want to know more things, I offer a love horoscope where I will tell you when love is going to be, potential suitors and stuff like that, like a love phase coming up in your life. I'll tell you with your horoscope if you want, with astrology. And if you want tarot instead, I have a reading called Find My New Love, where I look at a 3 to 6 month scope to see who the potential suitors are. So it works different. It works different. You're getting different answers. Tarot is going to the way I do it is going to dissect details of this new phase coming in, whereas astrology is going to pinpoint timing big time. All right, let's see. Karuna, will there be another chance for Rodney? Okay, so there's two options. If you continue to pursue the connection with all your effort, yeah, you'll reel him back in, but I don't think it's healthy. So if you continue and continue and continue, you know, with the manifesting and the trying and the, you know, yes, you're going to get a result, but the result is short-lived. I don't feel that he's acting in a way that is okay. In other words, he feels detached. He feels lazy about the love connection. He's supposed to be calling you and into you and everything. And I just, you make it easy for him. So I think you're putting too much effort into this man. Okay? But if that's okay with you, then keep trying, because he will come around. Just don't argue, because if you argue, yeah, if you argue with him, he's gonna just ghost you for a while. So I suggest you you may get frustrated because you want him to be at the level that you're at, which is valid, but it's not going to fly with him. So he's going to indirectly say, oh yeah, you're going to treat me like that? Bye. And then you're suffering. So I think you should put your energy into somebody else. But if you're not going to, then just be aware. Yeah. Okay, Natalie, should you wait for Levi? Or Levi, sorry. Trying to find the question that I was asking. Oh, hey, Jax. Yeah, you can meet me on YT, because this one's too censored. I was reading a question. I was doing a question on, I believe it was Levi, right? I want to see something a minute. I'm on her question. I'm trying to find it. Let's see. I'm trying to find her original question. Oh, okay, thank you. So I gotcha. Thank you so much, T. Thank you, Cheese Goon. I got it. Yeah, okay, Natalie. Okay. He's I'll explain in a minute. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. Let me explain what I saw first. It was so I asked the question, and with Levi, I kept seeing that I didn't see anybody else in the picture, which is one of the things that you look for when someone doesn't want to commit, you know? and I didn't see anybody. And I'm like, what's, reading on his energy, and it felt heavy to me, but very genuine. And the reason is I believe he has a lot of worries. I think that, I feel that he has a lot of worries. I feel that he has a lot of strain and is genuine. He hasn't. I don't see that he has. I believe that it's worth waiting. Yeah. Yes, I do. I believe that you should wait for him to commit. Yes. He is stressed with something very real, and he has a lot of fears, and that is real. So, what is his sign, and what is your sign? I'm just asking sun. I don't need anything else in the chart. Just sun sign and sun sign. If you know it. If you don't know it, that's fine. But I'm an astrologer, so I think that way. Okay, you're a Sag and he's an Aries. Okay, so he's an Aries male, which means he's very slow-paced for relationships. He takes his time. He goes after things 100% super fast when it comes to like money and career and things. But with love, Aries males, they're not like a male Sag, right? And you're a female Sag, so you're funny, you have an incredible personality, but you could be brutal with your mouth, brutal, and and say things like, "Oh my God, she said that." So, and you're ready to just solve the problem. You're ready, He's a fire sign, but out of all the fire signs, it's yes, in many levels you can speak the same language, but in some ways Aries can frustrate Sag in some ways. So it's a patience game. You'll notice that sometimes he's available and sometimes he just goes and lives under his imaginary cave, and it's like, where are you? I'm in my cave, leave me alone. So it's a patience thing. So I think you have to learn patience and watch your vibrous little tongue, because he's very sensitive. One of the things Aries males are afraid of is an angry female. They will hide. They do not like confrontation. They're terrified of an angry female. It freaks them the hell out. Yes, it freaks them out. If he was a male Sag, you can yell in his face and he'll yell at yours right back. And then you'll have like wine together and it's fine. But he is a male Aries, different creature. So be patient, be nice, and realize his style. And yes, he is worried about things. It's also hard for a male Aries to be very vocal. They tend to be secretive. They're vocal about everything else. They'll talk and talk and talk and talk and shut up, like what did you eat, a parrot? But when it comes to like their own things, they kind of shut people out. Whereas the female Aries will need to talk about it. They will explode if they don't talk about it. But the male Aries, they kind of go mute when they have an issue. So that's where the trust comes in. That's where you're gonna have to like trust with your heart and your feelings, because your head is getting pissed off and stressed and like, I don't have time for this crap. But I know that you feel connected to him in a different way. There's something really deep about the connection. So just trust in that. I think he's a good guy. I like the energy. I just think he's troubled. I don't know if he's like your soulmate or he's ideal for you or whatever, because I'd have to evaluate that in astrology. But it seems to me that the connection is genuine, and everything, every feeling that I get when I'm reading on him says wait for him, which is a good feeling. That's what I can tell you. All right, thank you so much. I'm ready to do a reading for Jax. So let's see. Hey, Jax. Let's see. She wrote something. I got to go back. I'll do the reading on YT. I'm not allowed to say the name because I do readings on YT. I can't say the name because the new policies here are very censored, and I don't want to give censored readings. So I do free yes and no on this. But if you meet me over here, I will do your reading. Okay? I fulfill my orders over there. So if you want to meet me on there. Now, if you're confused by something, I don't have a reading for 17. And I don't have any kind of cash app or anything. So you're lying. Sorry. You full of shit. Okay. I love it. Today's like fake people day. Yeah, I don't have a $17 reading. Anyway, you can meet me on here for the reading. Unknown is saying, hey Lucy, I want to book hi, how are you? I want to book a ready, but I only have time at 11 a.m. Your time. Is tomorrow fine? Not a problem. Sure, no problem. You can text me and I'll text you back. Yeah, and if that makes you feel better. Yeah, I'm on here 10 to 4 in and out because I do private readings and stuff. But yeah, that's fine. Those are my hours. But if you want to communicate with me, all I'm saying is I have open communication. So you can always text me if you have any specific type of question. All right. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will be back doing free yes and no. Let's see, Jax, are you on YT? I don't see you on there. Oh, there you are. Okay, let's do your reading. If any of you ordered a reading, meet me on there. That's where I do that. I'll be back, guys, to do the free yes and no. I'm just signing off. You said some question or something, but I couldn't read it on time. I don't know what that was. You want to let me know what you were saying? I'm sorry about that. The traffic was nuts. Next time, if you want, you can text it and I'll have it in the history. Oh, did you fill out the astrology for you guys? Because you said something about you feel he's your soulmate and stuff. Did you fill that out? Okay. I got you. Okay. Did you talk to him? Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. You don't have to answer anything like that. When I have a regular and I've read for them a really long time, we have like open communication about, they'll tell me, oh, Lucy, this happened, whatever, because there's trust. But I get it. You're new, so I don't want you to answer anything. It's my job to tell you what comes up, so don't worry about that. Okay. All right, I'm just trying to open the text history of... Oh, that's what she was talking about. Uh-oh. I see. She did a 17, Anna. Okay. That's what she was talking about. I thought she said Cash App. I don't have Cash App. Today's been like... Okay, let me write her back. Yeah, I'll do it later because I'm going to do your reading now. So that's fine. I will... Yeah, today's been a little bit dealing with a lot of wankers. Okay, so you didn't do the astrology? Okay. No, because I was gonna, astrology is 85, but I was gonna add some of it for you in the reading you got because you were so stressed out, about the soulmate thing. But no, that's fine. It's not required anyway. It's a separate thing, so don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna throw it in there to be helpful, the soulmate thing, but it does take time. So let's just jump in instead. Let's just stick with the regular, not a problem. So, the timeline. What do you mean? What timeline? I don't do timelines with this. My timelines are huge. I mean, I touch on chronology, but a timeline reading, those are separate. Those are more. I don't know what you mean by timeline, like horoscope. Yeah, that would be a love horoscope. Yeah. I think we're getting our signals crossed. Okay, so let me know the question that you have for me. Okay, I have to shut this off because I'm getting, okay. Hang on, I'm trying to fix this so that I can sign off completely and pay attention to your reading. Now, okay, I closed it. Okay, you said, I thought it was for the timeline. Okay, the astrology for when he was going to reach out. No, let me explain. When I do timelines, it's when a person says, okay, I want to know the next 3 months, what's going to happen, or I want to know the next 6 months, or I want to know, it's very time heavy, like in sequence. So I do those kinds of readings a lot. So those are usually large style readings because I use a lot of cards, a lot of table space, and there's a lot to cover. Now there's another way I work with timelines. I do horoscopes. So for example, if a person says, I want to know what's going to happen with this, give me a 3 to 6 months, 3 to 8 months perspective. I do year readings. What's my year going to look like? You know, things like that. So I work with timelines a lot. I do it with astrology, I do it with tarot, and so forth. But usually a person never says, I need time sequence, unless it's court, so like a civil case. Then I could understand being very heavy on that. Don't worry about timeline. Let's just focus on the relationship, what's going to happen. So this reading is good. It's 10 cards. I end up doing a few more because I like to look at extra stuff. But this is a good one. It's not like my deep love reads. Those are 48. Those leave no stone unturned. Yeah, not a problem. I think the reading that you got is good, because it's going to give you clarity. I do touch on the current situation and a good chunk of future that's relevant to this time. I don't go over that, but it's within a certain time period. Yeah, so it really fits. I think you got the good one. It can be not a problem. So let's find out. First thing I'm going to do before I start the read is I already started the read, but I'm going to do a dice reading on the energy of both of you. Then I'm going to go into his mindset, which is something I do on my 48 reading. I do a lot of, I add a mind read on top of the love reading. So just to let you know, yours is fine. I like the one you got, it fits perfect. But to let you know, FYI, the 48 one, what I do is I do a love reading on the relationship, and then I do a reading on the person themselves, what they're thinking, what they're all about, separate from the relationship. So that, okay, here we go. This one includes a little bit of all of it, but it's not as stretched out and full of detail and doesn't go as far in the future, and which is fine. It's still going to give you the clarity that you want. Okay. All right. So let me concentrate. So this is on Scott, and Scott is what sign? Is my music too loud? I'm sorry. I don't like that I'm yelling. I'm not a shouting type of person. Sorry. I'm more soft-spoken. I have a mouth, though, a pirate mouth, but I am soft-spoken. Okay, so he's a Gemini. Gotcha. Oh, I remember, I think. Okay, so found out a lot. I haven't gotten into the card part yet, but here we go. So the beginning of this reading is showing me that you are in a position right now where you are very sure of your love for this man. You're very confident. You know what you want. You're not in a situation where you're like, God, you know, should I just leave him? I don't know. This is not what I see. I see you definitely wanting this person and confident and secure in your decision. I see that he knows that. I see that he knows that you feel this way. So he's very aware of your feelings. I feel that he blames you for some things, but I feel that he's the one that effed up. He is in love with you. And that's important. I feel that, at least for this current time in life, it seems like you belong together. I'd have to evaluate, on your charts and stuff, if it's like a soulmate thing, and that's a whole different thing using different tools. But I would say for now, there's a very deep connection. So there's something showing up here that talks about him being proud of you for something with your job or your accomplishments or something like that. So either he's impressed by you in some way, or maybe it's what you studied, or maybe it's what your goals are, or maybe it's your background or something. But there's something very admirable where he just not only likes you, the way you look, and your personality, but it's also like what makes you you. So there's like these are the things that show love, because it's beauty's skin deep, right? But everything else is like their swag and like their riz and like who the person is. And I see that there's something that he like he admires. I also feel that there is some point in the past that he regrets. He could have had more success, so I don't know what that's about. Geminis, why don't you address it? What's your opinion of me? Or what do you think of me? Obviously not now, it's kind of awkward now, but then he'll say, because sometimes you gotta, with Geminis, They're kind of suave, but laid back kind of thing, you know. So there was something that I think he regrets in the past. So this lets me know that there's got to be something. Okay, he used to. He used to. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say there's something he regrets in the past that, you know, I was going to say, almost like it's a direction he should have taken or something, and he feels that bruise up until today. Like he feels that hole that didn't get full. So there's like a regret of something financial in the past. So there's something that where he is today, it's not, he sometimes wants to go back in time and, you know, what if you're like not over it. So that's what I was going to say. Now, there is a woman, okay, don't get stressed out or worried, but there is a woman that has her eye on him. He is not into that. He's not into, he's you know, he's in love with you. Yeah, Gemini males don't usually share an extra amount unless they're upset or drunk or something like that, you know. You know that old saying, when you're drunk the truth comes out? That I think that was invented on a Gemini male, or discovered on a Gemini male, because they don't sit there and, like, you know, they have to be very vulnerable, and then it's like whoosh, this spillage of truth comes out. Yeah, exactly. So when there is a woman that has her eye on him, or will have her eye on him, she does not know you and does not know of you. And I don't believe they've met, or she has her eye on him now, but it's very early and maybe doesn't know about the girlfriend, or you know what I mean? But I don't really care. Anytime that I see a female kind of trying to be in the circle, or trying to, you know, what do you call those sharks that kind of swim around, right? The bait. I just tell the person, be aware, don't take it for granted. Absolutely not, you know, be aware. I'm not saying let it bother you in any way, because it's not an issue. But definitely, if it's coming out in the reading, hello, you know, just be aware. That's all, because, you know, this is, it's good. It's good to be aware of things like that. I don't think it can be a problem, but, all right, if you're both fighting and she's manipulative and she's one of these conniving energies, yeah, I've read for all kinds of colorful characters, and she can put him in a bad situation and a scandalous or whatever. And, you know, so be aware, be extra close when you nourish a relationship, not you, but like the two people in it. And you nourish it, you're in a good spot, you're giving that little tree, you know, nutrients and sunlight and water. There's no worries. He's going to be fine. You know, he's in love with you and you're in love with him, and that's what matters. But I have to let you know that, you know, this phase of this circulating shark will it's going to have like a high point and a low point. It's going to pass. This is not forever. This is just one of these phases, just like there will be times somebody eyeballs you. And if you ever get a reading, you know, and there's a guy, you know, that is liking you, that's fine, because you'll deal with it and that's it. But if, you know, if it's a lonely phase and you're fighting and he's really romantic, you know, everybody has a different personality. But yeah, I mean, everybody has phases where they get attention and other times they don't. And right now he's going to be having eyes on him. And if the connection to you is nourished, there's no strength there, no matter how manipulated, because that's how you build what you have, is a foundation of strength. Right, right. And which is even more a reason to nourish and strengthen the bond beyond belief, so that the connection is endless. Because I'm reading for you and I feel connected to you and I feel your good energy, and I'm miles away and you're not here. So long distance exists. You know, I'm, you know, you're not touching my actual tarot cards, dividing it in half, but it's still a connection. So long distance is real. But it's how you nourish it, you know? Okay, so that's important, that he's in love with you. That right there is the key. That is the key. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the cards. So we're gonna see what he feels and where it's going. So the reading starts off talking about the fact that in the past, it feels like it's like when someone is selfish and takes something. So, and it had to do with a love relationship. So it's like when a person, it's like when he's feeling, I don't know if it was him feeling that about you or you feeling that about him, but what's coming up is when a person like maybe a user, like you took this, or all you did was take my resources, or you were selfish with this, you took this is not fair. I don't know what it was about. Are you aware what it was about? Let me explain it in a different way. When a person is hogging information or hogging resources or demanding something, or they take something of the, like, hey, I gave you, this, and you didn't give it back. It's like a selfish behavior. Selfish behavior is what, okay, so then let's open that up. Let's open that up more. All right. When his career had an issue, okay, what did you say? You said, I kind of, so I'm reading your comments and I like kind of understand some of it. And I kind of don't understand some of it because my head is somewhere else. So I'm not an airhead. It's just, I seem like a blockhead right now because you're saying I haven't, in 7 years, so a bit out of touch with what? Anyway, hold that thought. I gotta tell you. Okay, so it seems like his, I'll tell you where the selfishness was coming from. Okay, that greedy, tricky, I'll tell you. I feel it has to do with what went down with his career. Oh no, don't be sorry. I'm sorry that, you know, I have like a one-track mind when I'm reading. Like I'm so into what I'm doing. Okay, so about Scott and his past. What even if it was a long time ago, it's still so defining of who he is today. Like it's just changed him so much. That's how the reading opens. And I feel that he feels that there was a bit of selfishness and deception with what happened to him. So I don't know the full story, but either the way they treated him in the situation wasn't okay, or maybe because of what happened, you know, there was some kind of trick to make a person get injured or something. There was something deceitful, there's something unfair, there's something selfish. It's not like a person says, oh, you know what, that happened and it happens in life. And it sucks. Like when someone gets a missing hand because of a shark, or, you know, they just say, oh, it was a hungry animal, I was in their territory, or like, you know, there's something more to that. I don't know. Well, he feels that the reason for whatever happened in his past was due to selfishness. I don't know how he feels about it. I don't know what that's about. Maybe the demands on him were being put that was too much. Maybe it was a threat. Maybe this is speculative, but maybe she said, if you don't do this and this and this, you won't see the kid. There's gotta, because men don't get up and say, oh, I'm gonna walk away from my career. They could walk away from a job, but not a career. There's something that haunts him with that. It's so strong, it opens the reading itself. So that's a big deal. Okay, so there's still things that haunt him, that lingers. And he feels that the situation, there was something selfish. So we'll leave it at that because it's his demons, it's his stress. Let's go to you, but it's almost like saying we can't read on this man if that doesn't show up. Yeah, but not what became later of co-parenting, because that's something that, you know, the baby had to like grow and crawl and eat and talk and then be babysat. And, you know, we're talking about the beginning. Like the baby wasn't even, it was like this big, you know, in the mother. So, you know, there's got to be something that was from the story before the kid, not parenting the kid, before that. Because it talks about with what disrupted the career, whatever the story was. This heaviness, so I don't really know, but I know that the way he feels about it is that there was something, you know, selfish and something, you know, deceptive in the story, because he looks back and says, you know, why was it handled like that? Like, why did I have to, you know, there's a regret. And when a person has a heavy regret, there's a thick story there. So, all right, let's move on to continuing with him, okay? Okay. What's your zodiac sign, Jax? Okay. Let's clear something up. Have you done anything with him with love magic? Like, for example, like a love candle or like a flame reading or something like a love jar, or maybe mix something yourself or paid someone to do something to maybe make him sweet or to talk to you, or anything like a love protection or anything that would be a spiritual ritual kind of magical thing or spiritual thing, anything that has to do with anything like that. Okay. I know. I saw it. I know. I'm just waiting for you to admit it, but you're honest. I like that. I check for those things. Okay, so so it's not a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes things help. Because you're a Libra, okay, so I'm a magical practitioner. So because you're a Libra, believe it or not, you have a knack for magical stuff. You may not know what you're doing or how it all works, but you were born with a facility for magic. Of course, it takes 20, 30 years to master something. But all in all, let's say that I ship 30 people ingredients for a cleanse, okay, in a box. 30 of my clients, let's say I ship them ingredients in there for a good luck ritual for money. Not all of them will have it work unless I put a certain cast on it. But the Libras, anybody who has a Libra sun or a Libra rising, will have a knack for it. And it will, without instructions or without anything, they'll kind of be like, whoa, this worked. So there's a knack for it. But that doesn't mean that doing stuff is always a good idea. You could be doing things that hurt the relationship. You can be doing things that, a lot of women don't know, but certain types of love spells hurt the man's health, especially their heart, their cardiovascular. So, you gotta, always be aware of those things. But yes, naturally, you are naturally magically gifted. So if you educate and learn the craft, then you'll be great. But it doesn't mean that everything you're gonna do is great. It just means that you have a talent. You gotta learn the craft, the science of it. Okay, but it worked. It worked. Probably not the best. Spell you could have done, because you're still not going to keep that female from being interested in him. And a protection, you got to land it at the right time. So protection doesn't make him, you can be doing a negative effect. In this case, it didn't hurt the situation. So whatever you did amplified properly. So that's a good thing. But you got to work with timing, which would be a branch of magic. For example, astrological timing. That's I get that's complicated because you have to be like an astrologer and a magical practitioner, but you have to be aware of the timing, right? You want to do things like, why would a person do a let's say a job spell if they're not interviewing? There's no job openings. They're in their job they've had for 16 years and they're doing a job spell and they're not filling out applications, they're not doing anything. That would be redundant. Like, why would they do that? So in your particular case, I would have said to you, don't do a love protection. Do something where he is drawn to you magnetically more. So you want to amplify your love energy with him anchored in mind. So I would have said, bring him in more. I miss you. I can't stop thinking about you, so that you can gain that momentum and get closer with both your organic energies. You see, because protection can make a person, like if he's very distant emotionally, or like you're not communicating too much and you do a protection spell, it'll lock in that emotion at that time. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because affirmations are part of the spell. Part of it. Right. So you can prolong the distance. You can prolong the distance between both of you because you're locking in a protection to seal it at that phase. But it's okay because, there's still some positive that came from it and it's okay. No. It didn't come in as negative. It came in as positive. But here's the thing. If there's things you can do to move in the direction that you want, Okay, so magic aside, I did check on your spiritual, this is besides the point. I did check on your spiritual situation right now, kind of like a checkup, and I did see that there's some negative energy around you. Don't worry about it too much. It's not something that's affecting you know, it's not to that level, but it causes confusion in a person. The negative energy that I see around you can cause confusion, and kind of like energy depleted, because the person feels like, I can't grip what I want, like I can't move forward to what I want, like the way I feel is so up and down, I'm tired of it. Right. So that's what's causing it. It doesn't mean that, oh my God, you can't function or live a normal life. You can, but you should address that, with a cleanse. And, I do that if you're interested. If not, that's fine. But yeah, a lot of times that, yes, Crystal, I hear you. I'm reading, little girl. She's my cat. Okay. She wants her mommy. She's pulling on my sleeve. She already scratched my arm. Look at that. How horrible that is. Bad girl. Okay. So yeah, I checked on that. So, now let's talk about some kind of like hidden things. I don't mean hidden, I mean just like a little bit more obscure. I don't know if it seems that maybe you're talking to someone, not talking like, boyfriend, girlfriend, but like sometimes a woman who's single or kind of waiting on this one guy, you can be social. There could be a guy that's interested in you and you're kind of just keeping it platonic, but he's still interested in you. So it does talk about speaking to someone who they're interested in you, even though maybe you're not giving that back, but it's still a communication. So are you in touch with anyone that, they like you, or like maybe single ads or single apps or something where you're not really doing anything, but there's some communication? Because this is showing an activity of someone that, even if you're not feeling it, there's someone interested. So guys that are interested in dating you, but you're not giving them the signal back, but they're still communicating with you. Do you know of anyone like that? Yeah, okay. So that's all that I am, because I check for that too, and you're very honest, because I did see that, so I wanted to look, I wanted to just look at that because it's important. It's important to see the energy surrounding the female and the male as well. Let's talk about a little bit of what he's not saying. Let's dig a little bit into the Gemini. I would say that he spies on you in a good way. He definitely has his eyes on your content. He definitely has his eyes on your content. Yeah. And there is wiggle room for him to be jealous. Now, that's not something where he's, he's going to call you up and say, how dare you? I don't, not like that, but he's more like, she's got guys that are into her a lot. Like, like there's something, this raises an eyebrow, like I'm going to keep an eye on that. Like, I don't like that. It's uncomfortable for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way that you are. Maybe it's the way that he feels. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm shining a light on what he feels. And there is, stop it. No, don't do that. I'm shining a light on what he feels that he doesn't talk about. And there's a little bit of jealousy and a little bit of trying to figure you out, which in a way means he's super interested. He completely is into you. It just makes him desire you more. But when a woman is mysterious, that's very sexy. So that's a good thing. But as long as it doesn't become an issue, and I know the long distance and stuff, but yeah, he's very like, So yes, he does look at your stuff and he wonders a lot about, you, which what I don't like about that is that it's writing a fine line with suspicion. And there's no need for suspicion. The only way that will become destroyed is when you guys, in other words, to put an end to that is when you guys are in real life with each other and no long distance. That will die, because then he will see the complete you, not just the honesty bonding on the phone or video, and then just like the visits or whatever. But then it's also just, there's no more. That's the bad part about the digital long distance, is that it's not the full package, and that will end with the IRL in real life. Okay. Now, so I wanted to talk about that because that is definitely a subject on the table in regards to completing how he feels, the full composite of what he thinks and feels. Now, let's talk about one more thing about you before I continue with the relationship itself. You're very sad sometimes, and you feel overwhelming. You may even have bouts of tears. Your sadness is very valid. You seem like a very happy person, but it seems like you do have your suffering. You do have your sadness, your desperation. Yeah, and it's not ignored. Your tears are not ignored. They are written in the universe, the energy that you have. Yeah. I was trying to delicately say it because I don't want to make you seem like a crybaby or anything. I'm just trying to tell you that water leaves the body from the eyes with pain, with desperation. So I'm just saying that it's very valid, that your emotions are very valuable. Okay. Now, let's get into the relationship itself. Right now, it seems like he's in a bit of a conundrum because he's got to make a choice. I don't know what his deal is with a choice. Let me find out a minute. Hang on. I'm curious. Yeah. This is a critical time. This is one of the most critical points in this reading. I see that he is deciding whether or not to continue with you. He's in love with you. He's totally into you. But there's something in him that's saying, should I continue this? This is hard. Okay? I feel he's gonna, there's happiness in the reading. So don't be stressed right now, okay? But I'm just telling you that right now, in today's time, so today's date is the 17th of September, okay? Today, he finds himself in a conundrum where he's thinking, he may say certain things out loud that are nice, but in his heart, he's like, what do I do? Like, should I really go in this direction? Because it's hard. And here is the biggest problem that I see. Crystal, stop being a crybaby. She's whining. Like, Okay, I'm sorry. My cats never interrupt readings. Never. Because it's not fair to the client. So I'm sorry about that. But, what can I do? She's a whining baby. Okay. Now do you see why I don't want children? No, I have enough with my fur babies. So the problem that I'm seeing is that he wants a relationship, but he's very scared to repeat the past. Thank you for understanding. He wants a relationship with you, very much, very much. But he's worried about the past. what you have to do, I'm not seeing what you have to do with his past, because I see. Okay. I'm not sure in my mind, in my female brain, I don't understand what he's seeing between his past situation with her and the kid and all that, and a new one with you. I'm not seeing apples to apples. I don't even know why, because that's nothing to do with each other. But for some reason, I see that in his mind there's some kind of fear factor. I don't know what that is. You know, you would have to discuss that with him. But I'm picking up on, he's very worried about something either getting sour or him putting all his effort into something and it not working out. There's something to that. So that's he is relationship worried. And it can be because of long distance. It can be because, you know, are you his? Are you going to stay with him? Are you going to? There's a lot of questions that he has. He doesn't want to have something fail. Let me see something. He's afraid you're going to leave him. So you must be very, like, out of his league. There must be something about you, the way that you look, that intimidates him. So, yeah, it is him. It is him. It's not just old wounds. He also is, you see, he feels different things at different times. It's complicated, but he's a Gemini, so he can feel two different ways at once. And that's something that no other sign really understands except Gemini. So, I mean, unless you're an astrologer, then you understand that complexity, that duality. He, as on his own, has fears, worries, desires, you know, the whole thing, like everybody. But the way that he analyzes something, he can like pluck it out of his heart, look at it, and weigh it on this side and weigh it on that side. You would think Libra can do that, because Libra is the scales, and Libra can't. Libra can balance a situation they're in, but they can't detach themselves from it like a Gemini. So he can worry about something and look at it. So he can be in love with you and show you sides to him that has his worries and fears, but he can also be thinking differently about you too. He can also he can also carry with him a secret layer, because this is showing me that he's afraid you'll leave him, which means that he is, when he deals with you, maybe this will help the way I'm explaining it. When he deals with you, it's real. It's a connection. Immediately he's dealing with you. Let's think of that as one string. There's another layer. What he's feeling about you when he's not there. That's another layer. So you've got two strings, the way he looks at it. So there's the way she deals with me on the phone, her personality, her sweetness, her kindness, the way she's dealing with me, the way I deal with her, the way we get along, what you know, the way we feel about each other, kind of thing. That's one string. But then there's what he's not telling you. He's feeling like, he's not going to say, are you going to leave me? Because that's a sign of weakness. He's not going to, oh, hi. That's a sign of weakness. He's not going to admit that like that. It's not his style. I'm sure he'll talk about it if you go there, but it's opening up sensitive material. But yeah, you can definitely, when you're in a good spot, you can talk about those things. You know, do you feel I'm going to leave you? Do you feel, are you insecure about something? Right. On his own, he's never going to say that. But he will address it if you approach it sweetly at an opportune time. When you're both talking about something deep or whatever, you can because you'll see that he does open up. He is honest, but it's just weird territory for him, right? So there's two layers, she's really pretty. There's guys interested in her. She could be doing something behind my back and not know it. I know she's not, but she could. And I'm sure guys around her want her, and I can't stop that. And this is driving me nuts. And oh my gosh, in and out. So there's a lot of worries. That's the problem of this. And then feeling like he's not sure. Number one, one of his biggest problems is he doesn't really express his feelings. That's number one. For being a Mercurian child ruled by Mercury, you would think the words would pop out of his mouth. No, not the male Gemini. The female Gemini won't shut up. They will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk till you're blue in the face. They are all talking. I mean, not all talk, but like it's constant speaking. They're very vocal, very verbal. That's why most of them are journalists and write and technical stuff but the male Gemini is not. He's more silent. So he'll be more, it'll come out, and depending on his moon and rising, he might have an artistic side or something. Anyway, he feels unsure about your life, what else is going on in your life, and he doesn't know how to tell you. That makes me uncomfortable. I'm sure his lack of expression in a lot of things has caused him problems in school, has caused him problems with grades, has caused him, maybe that's why maybe he didn't want to study something more, maybe it's caused problems with family. He has his lack of expressing what he's truly feeling. He bottles it up and he doesn't know how to bring it out. And that you can teach him that, depending on the situation, but you can teach him that later, but it's going to come with closeness. The long distance is very hard. That's the challenge. That's kind of, if long distance weren't an issue, that you would see a lot of these things dissipate. All right. So he's worried you don't get him. He's worried you don't understand all his problems. He's worried that you don't feel the root of what he's about. Sometimes he feels misheard, misunderstood in a way. And then he also doesn't know how to tell you his fears. You understand? So it's complicated, but he's in love with you. Now, so that would be the problem right now. He's not sure which direction to take, which makes the reading delicate because he can, go this way or that way. Now, let's continue. I see that, you're going to make progress together. So that right there, you don't have to worry. I'm already seeing progress as a couple. Okay, so that's a good thing. Let's talk about some of the things he's aware of. There is an opportunity coming for him. I don't know what he's involved with, studying, school, whatever, projects. I don't know. Sometimes if a person doesn't have a job and they're not really doing anything, they're relying on like some kind of compensation or something. Sometimes it's just that they organize their home. There's something structured, there's something good. But he also sees that when it comes to his personal life, he feels like time is of essence and things have to keep going. Okay, sales, yeah. So he is going to make, the number 10 is very important. So I don't know if it's the 10th of, like October or something. It could also be $10,000. Again, the number 10 is potent, but it's stuff you don't need to know because that's with him, like with his, it's a technical thing on his job. So. But yes, it is coming up. There is an opportunity there for sales. Now, he's not aware of something. Give me 1 second here. So he's not aware of someone that's going to be popping up in your life. And this might affect him. So that probably means you're not aware of it either, because you don't really entertain anybody else. I mean, there could be some communication that's, you're not giving them the signal, but, or maybe you are, that's fine. But there's a man that's going, yeah, you don't know this person. This has not happened yet. There's going to be someone that pops into the story. So maybe he sees someone on social media flirting with you, or maybe maybe you're talking on the phone and you tell him, oh, this guy doesn't leave me alone. He's asked me out 6 times. I don't know how it pops into the picture. All I'm saying is that he's not aware of someone, or it can also be that he misreads something that is not there. Whatever it is, because the reading is headed in a direction that is positive, don't worry about these small hiccups. Okay, that's what I call small hiccups. They'll dissipate, and it's just gonna get in a good place. Okay, remember, there's things happening. This is a kind of like a condensed reading. So, people think that when they get a reading, everything happens the next day. No, things have to fall into place. 3 months can seem like 20 years. You have to let things ride. So what good would it be if I did a reading and it all comes out in a week? That would suck. That means my skill set is this big. Obviously, you want to widen the gap. Now, I do control it, because I'm not going to sit there telling you something 5 years from now. I can, but that'll be pointless. You're talking about now. But we want time. We want this we want to look deeper. So time is a thing. So the girl that is going to like him, that's later. Thank you. You as well, for understanding me. I'm a Libra stellium, so maybe that's why. Okay, so the girl popping into the picture, maybe the guy, little things like that, maybe stuff online. Life goes on. 3 days you're gonna deal with that, and 5 days you're gonna deal with that, and then you're gonna hit a high note, but it all plays out, and we're looking at a nice chunk of time to give you an answer, okay, a direction. So I see that the relationship picks up, which is very important. Let's talk about there is somebody that is very trustworthy to him. It seems like a coworker, or maybe it's a relative that just works very hard, and they talk about work. There's a guy in his life. I don't know if it's a brother, cousin, uncle, whatever, coworker, it doesn't matter. But there's like a confidant, and I see that this person is very important. I mean, because it's a love reading, I guess it can be you too. I can ask, because in a love reading, 2 people are like one energy. So let me find out if this is him. I think it's him. Yeah, it's him. So this is a confidant that he has. That he goes to, and what I don't like is that this person can give him advice that doesn't really align with you. So maybe the person says, why do you have long distance? Why would you do that? That's crazy. It's not that they're talking bad about you, but it's their advice doesn't fit the helping the relationship. I don't see that it's a warning, but you got to be aware of it, that not everybody in his life gives him healthy advice that benefits you guys as a couple. Okay, so you got a lot of people saying, long distance, like that. So what you can do is balance the energy out and say positive things. Find out a lot more about, so Libra females, if you have it in the sun sign, tend to be very, I'm a stellium, so it works very differently for me. But, okay, yeah, yeah. So Libra females, as a sun sign, they do not, get into a situation and rock the boat. They kind of go with the flow. Unless somebody is abusing a cause that they want to stand up for. So if you're at a workplace and you happen to love helping the elderly and somebody's rude to an elderly person, you're going to get in their face and be like, how dare you? I'm going to start a freaking rally. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Come on. I'm going to tell everybody what you did, you shitty person, because a Libra is going to be like, that's fucking wrong, and I'm going to stand up for it. But when it comes to their life, they flow. They're not the ones causing the drama. They're not the ones, so they go with the flow. They're very easygoing, very silent sometimes, which is why Gemini and Libra have this very interesting connection. So does Gemini and Pisces. But anyway, you haven't really said, so what's your day like? How you haven't taken initiative, like this strong initiative of saying, you kind of wait for him to kind of volunteer the information out to you. You kind of, which is good. The ebb and flow of the Gemini, it works very well with the Libra. But sometimes you got to get up and shake it up, So tell me more about your day. What about your family? Who are you close to? You want to do more of that. And it might be uncomfortable for the Libra. No, I don't want to upset him. No, I'm shy. I can't do that. And you got to take more initiative in his life so that the bond grows. And that's the part that's difficult, because this is talking about you making a huge difference in the evolution of your relationship with him by you interrogating softly. Talk to me. So do you sleep good? What's your routine? But not like a journalist. So what do you do? What are you dressed? Oh my God, what did you eat? Not like that, but just little by little, softly, just go with the flow, but take initiative to open up those doors, because you can't just wait on him. You gotta, So that's something the reading is telling you to do. I do see that this can end in a very good union together. So maybe an engagement, it looks like it can head to something like that. A committed boyfriend, girlfriend. It looks good to me. It looks good. I think it would be ideal, with, maybe some cleanses and stuff, but you're still getting a good reading. You don't necessarily have, I recommend you don't do any more love stuff, even though you're very talented and gifted. But I think, for example, I can recommend some stuff for you to do, and then I'll tell you, do it, and then you'll mix it and do it, and you cast it, or something like that. And then what that does is that, like that, or clean yourself with this, or do things, something like that. But right now, the magic, like I said, you don't, at this point, you don't need it if you do all the things in the reading that, sometimes it's needed, because the person's personalities, I say to myself, oh my God, please, you're going to need a little bit of sprinkled something, because this is difficult. I just see that naturally it's going to take its course, as long as you're aware of all the things, as long as you address things, that have come up, I still see a good outcome. Let me see something. Okay. So I just wanted to say to you, people can make mistakes and change the energy here. I doubt you're the argument type, because like I said, female Libras are usually very, it freaks them out to have argue. I mean, they'll argue if they have to, but they don't go looking for that. It really stresses them horribly. So sometimes they suffer in silence, unfortunately. So, I'm not worried about any kind of being offended or anything, but the fact that he called you is great. The fact that he called you and he's, he is in love with you. I would just say talk about new things, address things softly, feel positive about it and try to get closer to him. And the fact that he's in a weird place right now, all the more reason to say the right things. So your words, one thing you can't do is get into the silent game. The Libra female not wanting confrontation, not wanting conflict, not wanting to stir the waters, they'll spy on him spying on her, and Libra female spies on the man spying on them. Libra female is very watchful, kind of like a spotter on the mountain, with the magnifying glass. I see you. So Libra is very aware of that. Very, kind of spyish. Libra has a spy side. And they'll be the first ones noticing and tinkering with something. Ooh, I see you. That's a fake account, but they won't say anything. And then the Gemini male, he'll just carry on this whole thing he won't address. It'll just be in here. You can't do that. You got to talk. One of you has to talk. So you can say it. Don't be scared. What are your fears? I'm so, and be romantic and be confident and stuff like that. If you run into an issue, I'm sure you can always do a little magic. If you run into an issue, because there is love there, you're not pushing it fake. You're not manipulating it. You're not forcing a person. You both love each other. You just have a lot of hurdles to go over. There's nobody else in the picture for him. There's nobody else in the picture for you. You're both into each other. You're not breaking anything up. You're not being, manipulative or defiant. You're just going with the flow. So if you do find that there's a little bit of a stress that you have along the way, in the next, couple of months, 6 months, whatever, within that time, you can always do, a little magic, because you're helping your life. It's almost like if you have a job and you want a promotion, you're already in the job. You work hard at it. You just want a promotion. So that you can do the same with love. But I suggest for now, just be yourself and just correct the things that are just going to amplify, a good result for you. I don't see anything to worry about. Everything takes its course. It's not like tomorrow you're going to get the perfect result and everything's going to be great. No, life has its cycles. He is going through some phases. He has worries. When he starts making more money, because I do see something positive for him, that's going to be a high point. Everybody gets in a good mood when something like that happens. So that's going to be a time where he's full of joy, and that's going to be a time where you talk more. Be very opportune to the moment when he's feeling romantic or when he's feeling sweet. When he called you, I'm sure, what was his opening sentence? I'm not trying to get into your business, but what was his opening sentence when he called you? Just to drive a point. Was it like, hi, I miss you, or hi, how are you, or hey? Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What was his opening line? That was his opening line? He, what the beginning of the text said, ... so nothing else to say? Oh, okay. Okay. So right there, a good response would have been like, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. I'm not saying kiss his butt. I don't do that. I'm very alpha female. But I do understand the language of love, and I do understand what helps a situation and what aggravates a situation. So a good response to that, I know it already happened, but I'm just giving you an example. You would have said, you're right. I didn't mean to leave, no response. Yeah. Right. So right. Okay. Very Libra of you. Right. So you wanna like address what he's feeling and comfort, because that's what he was reaching for. Upset, like, so nothing, like, I'm upset, like, talk to me, you ignoring me. So yeah, that means, yeah. But that means he was sour. He was sour, and you want to soften that with sugar, not more sour. And then you change the subject with humor. I bought a gorgeous outfit. Can you give me your opinion? Gemini men, it's not that they're going to sit there picking your outfits, but they love a female that coordinates. And when you start sharing stupid shit and you text him, what do you think about this? You are involving him in your life. A stupid picture of your breakfast. Hi, this is what I'm having. It's cute. It's love. It's connection. It's humor. Talk about an outfit. Show him your pedicured toes. Look, you like it? It matches my purse. Silly, but it's involvement. He'll laugh. He'll say, that's my baby. And then he'll share something with you. You gotta start a new line of something. Okay, there we go. So that's perfect. So he loves it. So he wants more involvement. A Gemini male wants the female to be, a classy lady in the street and freaky with him privately. So he likes all that weird, when you act, classy and you're, yeah. To be the lady, like, all fancy, put together. She's so classy, and then a weird freak with him, so that he wants to see both sides. And a Gemini male also wants to see that the female is going to be his co-pilot. That's like a really big thing for Gemini males. When he has this life focus and he sees that the woman's going to be his co-pilot, yeah, babe, we're going to do this together. I love that. Oh, and I can help you with this. He's going to be like, yup, that's my girl. That's how he sees it. Whereas a Sagittarius might love a woman, a Sag male, might love a woman that says, I'm doing this next week. And he'll be like, oh, I'll go with you. Where a Gemini is like, no. I'm setting the rules. I like what I'm doing. I want you to plug into me. I want you to drive to where I am. I want you to plug into my agenda, because that's how they feel loved. So it's kind of like, it takes a certain patience to date a Gemini male, right? So that's fine. Libra has that patience. Yeah, so you get the drift. Yeah. Do you have any other questions, sweetheart, before we end the read? The reading closes. I always ask Spirit if the reading closes. Everything was looked over, but I just wanted to know if you have any pending questions. All right, sweetheart, no worries. It was very nice meeting you. Thank you for choosing me for your reading. I know there's a lot of people out there that offer reading services, so thank you for choosing me and my small business. All right, sweetheart, thank you and have a wonderful day. And give us the good news. Bye.